Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter, and today I'm going to show you how to make an epic, amazing colored pencil storage box for under $20. Probably under 10 if you have, scraps lying around the house. So what you're going to need for the basis of this box are these wood crates from the Dollar Tree, and you're going to want 9 of them. And make sure you take the stickers off the bottom because that could interfere with what we're going to do here. So then what you want to do is you want to take the crates, and of course maybe you have something different. Maybe you've been saving wooden tea boxes or something like that. So feel free, if you've got something similar that will work, substitute. So then what you want to do is you want to put 3 of these, just line them up and measure the length, which is like, I gotta take measure right here. It's like 17 5/8 inches. And then what you want to do is take 3 deep, because remember you're buying 9, 3 deep, and you want to measure that. Okay, and that would be about 10. Well, you measure your crates. You might have different crates than me, you know. Maybe Dollar Tree revamped them and they've got different ones now. I don't know. You could be watching this in the future. I don't know how you're living your life. It's about 10 1/4. So 17 5/8 by 10 1/4. So that would be the overall size of the box we're going to make. So then what you want to do is you want to cut a piece of plywood roughly that size. Oh, watch out, Norm Abrams. I'm coming for your job. I happen to have a scrap of plywood that was just a little bit narrower than what I needed, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It'll be fine. And in fact, if you don't have any scraps of plywood and you don't want to buy a whole sheet of plywood, you could probably go to the Dollar Tree, and every season they have these different, like masonite, which is kind of like a pressed wood, like sign, like holiday decoration, and you could buy one of those and you can use that for the base. So you basically just want something sturdy. The other thing you're going to want is 3 pieces of 2x4, and you're going to want them to be the width of those three crates. I'm a mess. So you need 3 pieces of wood here. So if you don't have a 2x4, I think they're going for between $5 and $7 right now for 2x4 by 8, but that would be all you would need for this project as far as lumber. So you could definitely do this project for under 20. So the only thing I had to get was the crates from Dollar Tree, and that was $9 because I got 9. Math. And then the only other thing, I keep saying the only other thing and then I keep getting new things, are either from corrugated cardboard or a thin leftover scrap plywood that you already have, anything like that, balsa wood. Look around your house, see what you have. You're going to want to cut some dividers that will fit inside of the crates, okay? So you can just measure the inside of your crates just to make sure they haven't changed. But what did I do with my handy dandy free with purchase Harbor Freight tape measure? They're like 2 5/8 by 3 inches. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to use some wood glue, and we are going to glue the inserts into the crates, okay? Oh, the other thing I want to mention is that wood glue gives you a really strong bond, so it's really recommended that you use wood glue. But if you want to hold everything together to kind of clamp it while the wood glue is drying, the best thing to do is to grab a hot glue gun. Because especially if you have like a bunch of different pieces, you probably don't want to clamp them. These aren't the heaviest, dutiest wood, so they could splinter if you put a clamp on them because you have so much open space. Hot glue will hold the wood together while the wood glue is drying. So I learned that tip on woodworking for mere mortals, and I thought that was fantastic. I'm not a woodworker. In fact, Mr. Frugal did most of the job. He cut everything for me. I'm just doing the fun part, the assembling. So speaking of assembling, I'm going to move the camera so you can see my tabletop a little bit better, and we're going to put this together. And then you'll see how it's going to turn out. It's going to be cute. Cute, I tell you. Okay, this is pretty self-explanatory, but just, put the little divider in your box. Make sure it's going the right way. It's not sticking out, because you don't want to glue it wrong. And then we're going to use some wood glue. Now, honestly, hot glue probably would work just fine, but, wood glue's stronger. And the reason I recommend using the wood glue, even though the hot glue probably would do the trick, is that you want this to be together. You don't want to be carrying it and then having something come loose, because the mortal enemy of colored pencils is them dropping. And once they drop, the cores can break, and then it's so frustrating to use them. And then you just want to slide that in. Like I said, I think cardboard would be fine for this. I'm just swiping up. after you put it in there, you can wipe up any loose glue with a rag if it bothers you. I would definitely wipe it off the top. On the bottom, I think it's going to shrink and disappear. But go ahead and glue all those inserts in and then set them aside to dry. It shouldn't take too long. And, you know, if you wanted that divided up more, you could always make extra dividers. I probably wouldn't do more than like 2 dividers in a box because I think you'd kind of lose more space than you would gain. But you do need the dividers, because if you don't, you know, your pencils are going to lay like that. You want your pencils to be able to be somewhat upright. And I like the shallowness of these trays because as you use your pencils and you sharpen them down, you know, they're still going to show. You're not going to have the, you know, they'll have to be under like 2.5 inches before they completely disappear into the box and you have to get an extender out. So I think it's going to work out really well. So go ahead and glue all your dividers in, and then I will see you in a minute. All right, all of our boxes are drying, and what I'm going to do now is just kind of put some glue on the 2x4 here. And I'm also going to do some hot glue just to kind of hold it in place while it's drying. And honestly, I think I would recommend doing the hot glue on the dividers, because then they would be ready to go and I wouldn't have to wait. And it would have been just plenty strong. So now what I'm going to do is line one of these up along the back edge of my plywood that's cut to the size of 3x3 of my crates. So this is going to have risers. So this will give us a really nice, able to see all of our pencils because they'll be staggered. So we won't have any of them like kind of hiding behind other ones. We're going to do the same with this. Another fair amount of glue. Honestly, this is a craft project. I don't do woodworking. And I didn't really do this woodworking either. Jason cut everything for me. But I had the idea, baby. I had the idea. Woodworking tip number 1, get someone else to cut the wood. That's very unpleasant. So, and then you can do the fun parts, putting everything together. I'm more of a wood assembler than a worker. Okay, and then this one here, we're going to put this one right in front here. See, bump, bump, bump. Get a nice little stair step action going. But this wood glue is going to make it super duper strong. And actually, I have a confession to make. I did end up clamping some of the boxes because there was a little gappy, and I needed to make sure there was contact between the like edges of the wood. So like between here and here, there was a little bit of a gap. See, hot glue would marry that gap, and that's what I should have used. Should have just used hot glue, because it's not like that's a super like structural part of it. But anyway, I didn't. So we're going to start by gluing these guys down. I am going to do the hot glue and wood glue just because I know I'll be impatient to use it. So at least if I have some hot glue there, it'll keep it from slipping around if I start to use it too soon. So I did 3 stripes of regular glue, and I'm just going to line it up flush with those 2x4s. Do the wood glue first because the hot glue will dry on you really quickly. So we got 1, do each end and then down the middle. I don't know what's proper wood and hot glue etiquette. I also don't know if you can see that. I have a clothespin on the back of my shirt. I don't know if you can see that because the shirt's too big, but I really like the shirt and I want to wear it in a video. So I'm telling you, I'm a mess. Oh, I should probably glue them end to end while it's already down, but we'll do that on this one. We'll do that. Let's see, what side, that one? This is riveting, isn't it? So sometimes you just have fun ideas, right? And you just want to like make them. Don't let the fact that I put more glue in my glue gun. Good Lord. I need a longer cord. I'm not used to working in here. I used to work in here. This was the only place I worked because this is the only place I had. I also recommend that you wipe away, if you get glue spillage, you wipe it away before it dries, if you can see it like that. So that way you don't have to sand it off later, because you think cutting wood's unpleasant. Sanding is very unpleasant. So I gotta wipe my fingers. Oh my god, I glue my fingers. That's gross. Okay. I'm not cut out to be a woodworker. Alright, gonna put a little wood glue there. We'll do some hot glue as well. Well, I'm sure you get the gist. We can come back after this is all done, I suppose. Oh, I really hope that these are 2x4 width wide. I should have... Oh, phew. Yeah, it fits. Well, I knew it fit because I had them stacked up, but then I was like, oh, what are the chances they're exactly a 2x4 width wide? I guess the chances are pretty good because it fits. I don't really have any product recommendations, but I hear that's a good wood glue. That's what my husband uses. He's a woodworker. Mr. Frugal. Oh, the glue strings. Oh, I got a tip for glue strings, though. If you've got glue strings all over your project, when you're all done, just take a heat tool and hit it with a heat tool. Just kind of like run a heat tool over the project, and the glue strings will disappear. They go into the ether, I guess. But you don't see them again, so that's fine by me. Probably shouldn't be wearing a shirt that I like when I'm doing projects like this. But I was already all gussied up from doing sat chats. Don't let my makeup go to waste. See, I used a clamp. Because I'm wicked professional. I don't know if that's enough wood glue. We'll see. I'm pretty sure. You know, even if it's not enough wood glue, we definitely have enough hot glue. I'm not going to hot glue on this one because it's going to dry before I put the next piece down. Then we got this nice little stair-stepping effect. Is that in the camera? That's in camera. 2 more to go, friends. You know, I'm not struggling with this glue like I usually struggle with my craft glues, which is nice. I'm going to do a little hot glue on that side. Oh, shoot. See what I'm talking about? I should have just hot glued those dividers in. They'll be stronger, but do they need to be that strong? Do they need to be stronger than hot glue? I don't know. I'll go glue my hands again. Alright, last one. Last one. Gotta do this glue on the bottom first. A couple little dabs of hot glue as well. There we go. Hey, that feels nice and secure. I really wish I had glued in the center inserts because then I'd be able to put pencils in this right now. But actually, I should be patient. Close up my glue so Jason doesn't get mad, so I don't dry his glue out. Gotta remember to return his clamps too. Ah, those things are everywhere. But look at this. This is our beautiful pencil case. It is got risers. So I'm going to fill this up with pencils once it's done, once it's all dried and cured and everything. I probably wait till tomorrow. This one's that's crooked. I probably should inspect and make sure none of these are crooked or tipping over. But I think they'll be alright. So far so good. And then we'll get to see the magic. There we go. Put it in screen, Lindsay. There we go. I'm not used to filming in here. Then we'll get to see the magic of the Beautimus pencil storage. It's going to be very exciting. Okay, this is all dry. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a pinch test to make sure our inserts are well secured. They are. They feel good. The nice thing about this is actually, because these crates have holes in the edge, you can actually pick up the box with them for transport, which is nice. You don't have to add anything on the sides. And because we did use the wood glue, it should be perfectly sturdy enough for that. And what I'm thinking is that I want to put the pencils kind of going around in a color family or like a color wheel. So I've got my pencils broken up by kind of like color families. So let's see. I might end up having more space than I really need because like I could put all my reds there. I might be able to put my oranges and yellows together, but I don't really want to do that. Ooh, look at that. It makes me so happy. All right, got a couple things of green here. I don't think I have my greens very well separated because I've got some that are kind of a little bit more bluey green, so I want to pull those out and put those in there. Look at the pastels in this set, though. They're so pretty. I'm really looking forward to using these. I might need to divide these up into a couple of... Oh, maybe not. No, I don't. Look at that. They all fit. Now I've got my green blues there. So I think, don't I go, man, I'm gonna have plenty of room, I think. So now I've got these blues. Will those all fit, or do I want to divide those up some more? Let's see. They might all fit in one container. If not, I will. Oh, I think they are. They'll stand up better, actually. And that's the thing. That's a whole difference between square containers and round containers. You get so much more, like, bang for your buck with the square containers. Actually, I was thinking I was going to go, like, around the edges with the, colors. But, you know, I think I'm just going to do it like this. Look at that. I have so many extra colors. Now I can go to grays, or I've also got this thing of metallics. I've got browns. What should I do next? The other thing with the metallics, because there's not really enough to fill, I'm debating whether I want to go back to having them all with their color families. I don't know. I'm going to think about that for a minute. Put those back. I think I'll do the grays. Gosh, I might be able to get all these grays in one thing. Maybe I can just, gosh, maybe I didn't need this whole rack. Look at that. All my grays fit in there. I wonder, I don't think all my browns, they might though. Oh my gosh, I think all my browns might fit in one thing as well. And then of course, you know, I could go in, like, look at some of those browns, because I was kind of making some decisions, like, is this brown more red, is this brown more, you know, and like putting some of the desaturated colors with there. Like, if it was a red that was like this red right here, this brown is called deep claret. That's really kind of a red, so I put that into the reds. You know, there's just so many colors that could go either, you know, that could be in a couple different categories, so. All right. There we go. Or I could just bind these together with like an elastic band or something. Look at that. Look at all that space I have left. I really like this. Isn't that inspiring? Doesn't it just make you want to like color something? Ah, oh, that's so nice. And I can see everything, which I really like. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to think about what I want to do here. I could actually put those together, but I don't really want to. I could, if I felt like they were flopping around too much, I could put them into a jar and then put them in like that if like the, if I didn't think there was, like if I felt they were flopping around too much. So that's an option. That's something I could do with these metallics as well. Put a jar in there and put the metallics in there to keep them more upright. But boy, there's a lot of possibilities there. We've got this whole back row if I wanted to put watercolor pencils or something else. I'm really thrilled with this. I can't believe how much space that that I got with this box. So honestly, you could store the whole 520 set of brute fooners in 6 of these containers. So you don't need to go to 9 unless you have more you want to put in the back. I think that makes a really usable storage solution, and I think it makes it very accessible. You can see what you have. You might, you know, as these get shorter, you might want to break them up a little bit more and utilize that back row. Maybe put your grays and your browns in the back row and spread those out a little bit more. But, man, I'm really pleased with this, and I think it's going to serve me very well. And it gives me more room to grow, which is nice. So I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this useful. And till next time, happy crafting!